In this video you will get 5 best Stephen King horror books. If you want more information about these books, just follow description box link and don't forget to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get next book's idea. When it comes to horror, no one does it better than Stephen King. Arguably one of the most prolific horror writers of the world, Stephen King has had a multitude of bestsellers to his name ever since he came into light with his first short story, The Glass Floor, back in 1967. Ever since, the writer has gone on to write and publish over 60 novels in genres of horror, science fiction, fantasy, and suspense. Most of his books have already been adapted into successful TV shows and movies to the varying response. His excellence in the horror genre has made many of his fans to define him as the king of horror. Let's have a quick look on the top 5 best Stephen King horror books. Number 5. Cujo. Cujo is a nightmare for dog lovers. King takes the man's best friend and turns the philosophy upside down to deliver one of his most tongue-in-cheek works in years. A nice friend suddenly turning into a flesh-munching monster hits all the right notes of combining horror with dark humor. It does not shy away from violence, making the dog commit the most horrendous of a violent act to his human victims. If you love dogs, then this book isn't for you. For others wanting a very unique take on violent pets, then this book is a blast from start to finish. Number 4. The Dark Tower. It includes 8-book series. The Dark Tower is King's own version of Game of Thrones, an epic 8-series story that centers around a tower that connects all of Stephen King's universes together. There is a dark wizard who is out to destroy the towers and thus destroys the world, and there is a gunslinger who is out to stop him. The Dark Tower is an ode to Stephen King by Stephen King. References to all of his old work like The Shining, It, Carrie, etc. are peppered all throughout the complicated narrative of this 8-part series. There have been multiple attempts to turn this book into movies, with all of them failing. The book, however, still remains as one of his most accomplished works as a fantasy author. Number 3. It. A sweet tale of childhood, friendship, love, and a murderous supernatural clown out to ruin it all. That's IT in a nutshell. This is probably the most popular of the bunch in the modern era. The book has already been adapted into a very popular miniseries and a blockbuster movie. The book, with a creepy clown at the center, is mostly centered around the friendship that our group child protagonists share with each other. From the dialogues which King gives to his characters, you can understand how deeply King understands the way children behave and talk. It can also be an allegory for bad parenting, as most adults in this book are pretty horrible. Still, it is a book that many novice readers can start with to better understand the mind of this great author. Number 2. Carrie. Carrie would make you believe that being an introverted teenager was not exactly fun in the America of the 70s. It is the book that first brought King into attention as a classic tale of revenge with a gory supernatural twist. Almost 90% of this book is one long ordeal of bearing witness to the domestic abuse, bullying, and humiliation of shy teenager Carrie. All throughout the book, you wish that Carrie's tormentors would get their comeuppance, and when that does start happening, you wish you hadn't encouraged that thought. Number 1. The Shining. The Shining is Stephen King at his best. Telling the story of a father who brings out his wife and son to the desolate Overlook Hotel at the inception of a blizzard is a stuff of nightmares. The book details in excruciating details of the father's slow descent into madness, which threatens the safety of his family. Ever since its release, it has spawned multiple adaptations, both legit and bootlegged. Jack Nicholson's 1970s film is one of the most memorable of all of them. The story has now become a stuff of legends and has inspired many aspiring writers to follow in the footsteps of King. Check description box link to know more about these books. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, consider to subscribe our channel. If you have any question about these top 5, you can leave a comment below. I will get back to you as soon as possible.